feel. Oh, it's too bad, babe, just too sad now. You don't want me now, oh, baby. But I'm gonna change your mind some way, somehow. Oh, baby, ooh, I want you right way, yeah. I want you, baby, but I want you to want me too. I want you, yeah, love me, baby, just like I want you. This one we love is just.
All right, E Supreme sitting here with Gperspective, Crooked Streets Radio. Sitting with here with Marqueal Jordan, my man, based out of Chicago. Definitely, we just watched Marqueal give a stunning performance here in the DMV, Chicago based. I'm going to allow him to introduce, kind of give a little big background about himself.
Peace, y'all. My name is Marqueal Jordan, resident of Chicago at this point, but born and raised in LA, lived in Kansas City, been in Chicago for about 20 years. Been doing my thing, saxophonist, vocalist, toured with Brian Coberson, got a solo debut CD out called Catalyst, man, just trying to make some moves, brother. Trying to make the move.
Yeah, and you are making the moves. I mean, thank you for blessing with your presence here in the DMV. You know, given that performance that you just did, I want to know, what do you do to prepare to give such a stellar performance like that? I mean, it was outstanding. So.
Wow, man, thank you. It depends, man. Like, a lot of it, the vibe is just the audience, like the people that are here, man, you know, and it's a lot of people that I know here, you know, so it feels like family, and I definitely wanted to put on a good show for them, and I was excited. This is my first time coming down to the DMV area and headlining my own show, so I'm just like super excited about that. So that was motivation enough for me to really kick it in like I needed to, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Now, just, you know, you've been with Brian Coberson, you know, that's a relationship I think that, you know, you kind of maybe elaborate on how you were introduced and what that has done for you in terms of your growth as an individual.
It's done so much, man. Like, I was able to meet the cats that I'm playing music with tonight because of that. But like, the drummer in the band recommended me to Brian Coberson, so we wound up he wound up meeting me at a show. He heard me play, heard me sing, and offered me the gig, you know. And it's been like, this is my 8th year working with him. You know, he worked on my record and introduced me to a bunch of artists around the world, really, you know. So it just opened up it just expanded my horizon, really, and my thought process. It went from, oh, I'm just doing this in Chicago as a hustle, to like, now I'm an artist, you know. And it couldn't have happened without me meeting that cat and the things that transpired from that meeting, you know what I mean? So it's amazing, a blessing.
Yeah, and you know, you're what I see tonight. You definitely you bring explosion to the stage, and that's what I like to see. You know, you being an individual, and how are you finding yourself being able to transition, you know, as a solo artist at this point?
You know, it's just being creative, like, and really, all the music that I listened to growing up plays into that. You know, I grew up listening to jazz as a youngster. Right. Then I got into R&B, and then, you know, I grew of age in the golden era of hip hop. Okay. So like, just seeing all of the masters of all of those different styles do it, you know, I want to emulate them. You know, I want to be like Marvin Gaye. I want to be like, you know, a Tribe Called Quest. I want to be like Branford Marsalis, and I try to incorporate all of that into what I do, you know, and try to bring a little energy to it too. You know, I got some James Brown in me, you dig? So
absolutely, yeah. I can see it all day. And it's funny that you mentioned hip hop. You know, it's Crooked Streets Radio and Gperspective. We're 100% hip hop radio, but we understand the history behind hip hop kind of has a big influence from jazz. How do you feel about that? And just a comment to it a little bit.
Man, you know, the crazy thing is, like, if you talk to cats, like, and ask them, like, who is one of their most influential jazz musicians, they'll say Jay Dilla. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, he influenced a generation of cats. Yes. You know, and a lot of the music that I really like and that I really listen to and that inspires me is hip-hop based, you know, or, you know, they went back and found the coolest stuff to sample. You know, they found the greatest music, and you know, it was stuff that I had heard growing up but wasn't really hip to until somebody sampled, and I'm like, wow, oh, what's that sample on that Big Daddy Kane joint? Oh, that's an Albert King song. You know, it's like, so it's just, it kept the music alive. You know what I mean? Exactly.
You know, and I feel hip hop is definitely, it originates from jazz, you know, from the bebop and the doo-wops, you know, from back in the day. So, you know, where you're at today with your career, I mean, how you're broadening your horizons and you're touring everywhere. What do you see next down the line? I know you've just had the album Catalyst that came out.
Yeah.
What's your next big project?
Well, I need to work on another record and just kind of get the momentum going. But really, the first record was to introduce me to people as an artist, you know, as a solo artist. People have seen me with Brian Culbertson, they've seen me in Chicago, work with a few different bands, but I hadn't introduced myself as a solo artist yet. Okay. So that's what the record was really about. And now that people have heard the record a little bit, you know, I'm trying to get out and let them see what it manifests like on stage, let them see that live. So from there, just build a momentum, man, just really grassroots kind of thing, man, you know, and keep releasing projects and collaborating and working with different cats, you know. Wayne Bruce from Spur of the Moment, guitar player that worked with me. Yes. You know, we've worked together. We're going to be on a record together at some point. It's going to happen. Yeah. So, you know, it's just keeping the movement moving and getting with like-minded individuals that want to keep the level of musicianship and creativity high. You know what I mean? That's what I really want to do.
Absolutely. You hear it right here with Marqueal Jordan. Tell the people how they can get the album Catalyst, you know, where can they find more information about you, where you're performing, those type of things.
Okay. Best place to do that will be my website. So I'll spell my name because it ain't spelled like it sounds. So it's www.marqueal.com. That has my schedule. It has the album. You can buy it off of either CD Baby or iTunes. It's on all the digital outlet stores. Okay. And I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, you know, keep the social media thing. So that's how you can find me. But the website pretty much can lead you wherever you need to go from there.
Absolutely. There you have it, Marqueal Jordan here with Gperspective, Crooked Streets Radio, doing a big 2015. So be on the lookout for more and more from Marqueal Jordan. Definitely thank you having you.
Thanks,
all right.
Appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate it as well.
Yeah, my name is Marqueal Jordan, and I'm based out of Chicago, and I am super duper excited to be here tonight. I feel like I'm amongst family. You know, I've done the Capitol Jazz Crew. It's probably 6 out of the 8 years that it's been running. So I see a lot of familiar faces. I see people that I was telling that I was going to do a CD at some point, and I didn't really know if I was ever going to do a CD. I was like, yeah, I'm working on a record. I'm working on one. But it's done. That's how God works, y'all. God is good. And I'm happy to be sharing it with Brother Wayne Bruce up here on stage, y'all. Give it up for the musical director and my man on guitar. We started with Brian Culbertson at the same time. He was a veteran in the game, and it was my first touring gig, so I had a lot to learn. And he made sure I learned in no uncertain terms. But so it feels good. It feels like I'm coming home. So without further ado, I'd like to do another song off the CD. This is a song that Brian Culbertson was featured on, but we're gonna let Wayne get loose on this one a little bit later. This is entitled "When You Smile."